Have you ever noticed how certain people seem to move through life with effortless financial momentum, while the rest of us are grinding just to stay afloat? They are not smarter than you. They did not inherit secret family fortunes, and they are definitely not following some mystical money manifestation technique from a social media guru. Yet somehow, quietly and consistently, they keep building real wealth while most people are left wondering where their paycheck disappeared to. Here is what is actually happening. The wealthy do not just have more money than everyone else. They think about money in a fundamentally different way. While most people spend their lives playing financial defense, constantly anxious about bills and expenses, the wealthy are playing offense, building systems that generate income even while they sleep. And until you understand how they think, your financial situation will stay exactly where it is, right now. The first major shift is understanding the true difference between assets and liabilities. Most people believe they already own assets. They point to their car, their expensive watch, their college degree. But a real asset puts money into your pocket, and a liability takes money out. That car you are proud of costs you hundreds of dollars every single month in payments, insurance, fuel, and maintenance. That is not an asset. That is a liability dressed up as a status symbol. The wealthy ask one simple question before every purchase: will this make me money or cost me money? This single filter explains why you will often see genuinely wealthy people driving older cars while someone earning $50,000 a year is financing a brand new truck they simply cannot afford. The second shift is about time horizon. Most people think about money in days, weeks, and months, anxious about the next paycheck, this month's rent, maybe next summer's holiday. Wealthy people think in decades. Every financial decision is filtered through the question of where it positions them 10, 20, or 30 years from now. This long-term thinking changes everything. Instead of celebrating a tax refund as found money, they recognize it as proof they gave the government an interest-free loan for an entire year. Instead of asking whether they can afford something today, they ask whether it moves them closer to the future they are deliberately building. The third shift is genuine financial literacy. The truly wealthy are obsessed with understanding how money actually works. Compound interest, tax strategy, asset classes, market cycles. They do not blindly follow a financial advisor who earns a commission, regardless of whether their clients succeed. They educate themselves because they understand that financial knowledge is the foundation of financial freedom, and that every hour spent learning about money pays returns for the rest of their lives. But the wealthy also understand that knowledge alone is not enough. Financial success is at least 80% behavior and only 20% knowledge. When markets crash, they do not panic and sell at the worst possible moment. They see it as a sale and buy quality assets at a discount. When they receive a bonus, their first instinct is not what to spend it on, but how to put it to work immediately. The fourth shift is moving from consuming to creating. Most people spend their entire working lives as consumers. They earn money and immediately funnel it back to the businesses and people who are already wealthy. The wealthy flip this equation entirely. They position themselves as the owners of businesses, the creators of products, and the providers of services that everyone else is purchasing. This does not require building a Fortune 500 company. It simply means shifting from someone who trades time directly for dollars to someone who builds systems and owns assets that generate income independently. The critical distinction is understanding the difference between working for money and having money work for you. When your income depends entirely on your personal hours, it will always be capped. Wealthy people build income streams that keep running whether they are actively working or not. The fifth shift completely reverses how most people understand risk. The wealthy do not see investing as risky. They see not investing as the single riskiest thing you can possibly do with your money. Keeping cash in a savings account earning 0.5% while inflation runs at 3% annually is not being conservative. It is a slow and guaranteed loss of purchasing power every single year. Meanwhile, they spread their exposure across multiple income sources, multiple asset classes, and multiple strategies, so no single failure can destroy what they have spent years building. The biggest risk most people take, relying entirely on one employer for 100% of their income, is a risk they rarely even acknowledge. The sixth shift is about taxes. Wealthy people think about taxes with every financial decision they make, not just once a year. They maximize retirement accounts, invest through tax-advantaged structures, and organize their financial lives to legally keep as much of their earnings as possible. The tax code is actually designed to reward the behaviors wealthy people engage in naturally: starting businesses, investing in real estate, building retirement savings. They are not cheating the system. They are simply reading the rule book far more carefully than everyone else. The seventh shift is leverage, using other people's time, money, expertise, and networks to achieve results that would be impossible working alone. Rather than trying to master everything themselves, the wealthy hire specialists, raise outside capital, and build teams. They use leverage strategically to acquire income-producing assets, never to fund lifestyle or consumption. The eighth shift is operating from genuine abundance rather than scarcity. Wealthy people believe there is enough opportunity for everyone, which makes them collaborative, generous, and always focused on what value they can create. Scarcity thinking breeds jealousy and resentment and causes people to miss opportunities sitting directly in front of them. The ninth shift is information quality, consuming credible, long-term research and then acting on it decisively rather than falling into endless analysis paralysis. The 10th shift is money velocity, keeping capital moving through productive investments rather than letting it erode in low-yield accounts. And the 11th shift is strategic impatience, being fiercely impatient about improving their circumstances while remaining completely patient with their investments, allowing compound growth the time it needs to work. These 11 shifts are not secrets reserved for the privileged few. They are simply a different operating system for thinking about money, one that anyone can install. The uncomfortable truth is that most people will read this, agree with every word, and then change absolutely nothing.